So I finished a chapter in my novel. Yesterday when I did my live, I was saying that I want to do at least 10 chapters on my rewrite of my novel this month. I was in the middle of one of them, and as I'm adapting the story from a script, the scene was very small in the script. It's just a quick sort of like introductory scene of three characters having dinner. Sort of like it's meant to be a little more lighthearted in this sort of like dark story, and I needed to make it longer and expand on it. And um, I wouldn't be surprised if when I get an editor, they also tell me I need to expand on it some more. But I was able to make it from like 3 pages to 8. So I added about 5 more pages, which is good. I'm trying to get my word count up. And it's leading into the next chapter that it leads into is a very pivotal moment for the story and who our character is and where he is on his journey. So I really wanted to take my time with it. And it was that you would think it would be like surprisingly easy because not too much happens in the story, but trying to make a scene where not a lot happens and make it feel important to a story was a little more harder than I thought, especially coming off of like constant filming and, having to run errands and social obligations and family obligations. So there's a lot of things I took care of. But this morning I had the time and I did it before because it's starting to get really hot right now, but I did it before it got hot. And I'm also going to Halloween Horror Nights tonight. It's a preview night here in Los Angeles, and my friend works there. And so I'm able to go. I usually go pretty much every year when I can. And because I'm in the middle of writing a horror novel, I think it's going to be a lot of good inspiration to sort of go and be caught up in that theme. So I'm really excited about that. And I love Halloween Horror Nights. It's actually one of my favorite things to do. I like spooky time. I like haunted houses and mazes. So this is just gonna be a grand old time, and I appreciate my friend Javon, letting me go. But I just wanted to check in and see how everybody's riding was going today. Mm, I know it's still early in the week, and it's still sort of early in the day, but and we just got off a holiday weekend, so that also makes it a tad different because I know when it comes to holidays, everybody's traveling or having barbecues and just sort of spending time with family and friends. I did do that yesterday. As you know, I was on my way to lunch with some friends of mine, and that was a very nice lunch. And then I came home and sort of relaxed and took the holiday off. But I woke up this morning bright and early. I was ready to go, and I was like productive, and I just made a big pot of coffee. And I just went to town. So I had a good time. Um, Hope everybody else is doing well with their writing. Again, it's still early in the month. If you need some inspiration, every first day of the month, I always post a writing prompt on my Substack here. So please check that out. I've done 3 so far: July, August, September. And then I also have one for October that will come out next month. So, if you're ever feeling any sort of like you need some inspiration, please check it out. I have tons of interviews on here that I've done with other authors talking about their creative process and how they find inspiration. So hopefully something in there inspires you as well. That's sort of like my goal with this Substack channel is to help people get motivated and find inspiration and then, sort of battle writer's block. So hopefully you find something that inspires you on my channel. That's why I do my lives a lot, to sort of check in and let you know where I'm at my process. Because this is me writing my first novel. I always wanted to be a novelist. I spent my entire childhood just handwriting short stories as best as I could. Sometimes I'd write at recess. I'd come home and write at night. Did a lot of poetry as well, sort of just finding my voice. Did a lot of prose as well. And then stopped for many years because I was working on screenplays, which I do like writing screenplays. It's just a different medium and a different voice. And when I decided to write my novel this year, again, at the age of 50, doing something completely new and completely different in my life, it was a challenge to go back and sort of find that voice again. And adapting the script was great because it was sort of like an outline. And then as I'm expanding it, it's helping me find my voice again, which I was afraid I had lost. And I'm glad that I'm getting it back because when I worked on my second novel, which is my drama, which it's based on a play that I wrote. I had a play produced in 2011 in December. And it was one of the things, it was the thing that my mother loved the most. She was able to go to the play. She went to every iteration of it. She was there when we did the radio version. And then every time I had a reading and we workshopped it, she was there. And I was able to go on opening night, which I was grateful to have that for her. But then when I adapted into a screenplay and then was never able to do anything with it. So um, adapting into a novel is not going to be easy because one, it's a very powerful story, and it's not easy for me to write because even though I'm not Latino, I draw on a lot of personal experiences, and then it's also because I'm dedicating the story to my mother, and so that also makes it difficult. And so I was starting to write it, and then I found that it was actually very extremely difficult. I'm also writing in first person, which is not something that I normally do. I usually write in third person. Present tense is actually what I'm doing with this with my horror novel acts. Third person present tense. And so with You Can Call Me Eve, it's going to be written with two viewpoints. It's going to be written while Eve is talking in first person present, but then the chapters that go to the past will probably be written in third person past tense because they already happened. Acts is we're watching it as it happens now. So it's not easy again, but I'm grateful that I'm finding my voice, and I'm grateful that like Substack has been great because I've been able to post a few chapters and you guys have been giving me feedback, and I cannot tell you how grateful I am for that. So again, thank you guys so much. It's been a fun journey so far, and um, also I'm part of the Horror Writers Association, and a lot of them of the authors in the group are nominated for the Bram Stoker Award, and so part of the rules is they have to send out, I believe, a copy of their novel for others to read. I'm still new to the group, so I'm still learning, but I will be getting a copy of some novels here shortly that I also plan to read and help me get some inspiration. And I also bought a graphic novel while I was at Long Beach Comic Con. It's kind of sci-fi with like horror elements, and I don't read a lot of graphic novels, but this one seemed very fascinating. It's also got a queer element, which I'm excited about. So I'm going to read that here shortly too. So all these things I'm going to use for inspiration. But I found that when I write more, I read more. I like that correlation. Of course, it's also the same that when I write screenplays, I watch more movies. So I try to stick to that medium. So this is something new and exciting for me, and I'm glad I get to share it with you. And I appreciate you guys all being so supportive, as I want to be supportive of you. So please check out my Substack. Hopefully, you find something on there that will inspire you, and then share your writing with us. And let's continue to move forward every day with our writing.